Welcome to Chopping It Up with the Squad. You know who it is. As always, it's your boy Leo. We got the co-host. Holla at him for the one time.
It's B Will. I always rep them Lakers, the Niners, and I'm just ready to sit back and watch something real nice.
Oh man, you see, we got a new guest in the building. This is part of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. We are talking one of the funniest men on the planet. Been watching my man for years now, and I mean, from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, he's dropping it. He'll be at the Laugh Factory tonight, and this man represents the best team in the NFL. Simply put, Clint, holla at him for the one time.
I feel underwhelmed. You were telling me this was about to be an amazing intro, and I believed you,
You told me
right?
to hold back
But
a bit, so I had to
but
try.
you didn't emphasize how how obnoxious I'm about to be to let you know that the Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions this year. But not only are we Super Bowl champions, while you have that disgusting flag, I don't even hate the Chiefs. You know what? I don't even have a problem with the Chiefs. Everybody didn't want the Chiefs to three-peat. If the Eagles didn't do it, I wanted to see greatness. But at our expense, you have nothing to say to me right now. 40 to 6. The last two touchdowns, it didn't matter. You got your ass kicked. We didn't just beat the Chiefs. You got your
Oh
ass
man.
kicked.
Yes, fellas, that is how we are coming out the gate. He
Yes.
told me to hold off a bit
Yes.
on the intro, so I couldn't sell him up for what it is. Because I mean, at the end of the day, all you might want to hear is,
That's it.
and he knows
See,
exactly what that is. I mean, belts to ass. We got dealt with. It is what it is. Be Will, you look like you need to get a kick in there. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. No, for a minute there, I thought y'all was about to. I thought we was about to lose our record for the biggest beating in Super Bowl history, but that's still safe. Sorry, Chargers.
nah, we don't go out like that. I gotta
how,
pay
wait, wait,
respect.
hold on. How old were you in 19 during the 1994 season?
You
I was
talk.
5. I was 5.
Hmm.
I was
Okay,
still alive. I was there.
okay. You weren't watching. We'll get to you in a little bit because I ain't done. I got a problem with 49ers fans too.
Ooh, all
Ooh.
right.
Oh,
I got
we
a
are
problem with
in. Let's
49ers
go.
fans.
So okay, this started because I wanted the bet. I wanted the smoke. So I let you know, hey, I'm willing to break this down. I'm willing to do what it do. We didn't watch you tell everybody all season long who needs to shut the fuck up. And I was ready to make sure Philly shut the fuck up. You're doing something that don't really happen. I mean, you said you hate the banner, and I get it. Y'all got one right here. I can expand the camera out and let you have a good little vision of it. It's 1-1 now. So we're going to let y'all have the congratulations. Y'all got this one. It ain't over yet. That's all I'm going to say.
Here's the thing, right? Now I'm gonna be honest. Like as a I'm outside of being an Eagles fan, I'm actually an objective football fan. Meaning I know what I see what I know you know what I'm saying? Like I know what I see. I don't hate the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are still going to be around for a very long time because you guys have the core foundation of what's needed to be a great franchise. You have a star quarterback, you have a star coach. But let's have a conversation, right? A lot of your players on defense are getting old. A lot of your offensive weapons are getting old. You know what I'm saying? And Patrick Mahomes, even though he's still young and stuff like that, upholding a dynasty is very, very, very hard. So I'm gonna be real, and this is somebody who lived through the Tom Brady era, like both of you guys have, right? Like Tom Brady won 3 rings up top, and he went like a 10, 12 year drought where he didn't win anything. Not saying that that's going to happen to the Chiefs, but also people just don't know how hard it really is. So that's more so why I don't think you guys probably are going back to the Super Bowl next year, just for the simple fact of just fatigue football. So this is not a hate. This is not me saying this is an objective opinion. More so, it's like the Kansas City Chiefs are so great. It's so hard to sustain this. Like think about this. Think about this. Since Patrick Mahomes has been the starting quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, you guys have not. You've never known what it's like to not even be in the AFC Championship game.
Yep, took
Like
overtime for the two
you
losses.
don't you. But see, that's the thing though. I'm not that fan, right? Y'all motherfuckers be, those fans be all like, well, if it wasn't for this flag, or if it wasn't for no dog, like I could easily say, if it wasn't for Bradbury doing that fake ass hold call, I don't want to hear that. We lost the game. Jalen Hurts shouldn't have fumbled. We shouldn't have let Patrick Mahomes score 35 point or 38 points. That's how I look at it. So my thing is, I think the league is slowly catching up with Patrick Mahomes. I still think he's the best quarterback in the league. I still think the Chiefs are the best franchise in the league. That even includes Philadelphia and what we've accomplished in the last 5 to 8 years. So, but my thing is, I think next year you're going. This is going to be the biggest drop off. I think they're going to make the AFC Championship game, and whoever is going to the Super Bowl is going to beat them.
Okay.
That's what I think. And that's contingent upon you guys not having home field advantage, because I don't think you'll get it this year. If you do, that changes this conversation. So I don't think people aren't coming to Arrowhead in January and beating y'all. So if you guys do not have the number one seed next year, I do not believe you're going back to the Super Bowl.
Okay, we're gonna definitely see what it is. This year is being labeled
Yeah,
the last ride, the final straw.
yeah.
Kell's coming back. We didn't franchise Trey Smith. You talked about some of the defense being older. That we can definitely argue about because some of the key pieces we can say are above the age of 28, but most of our guys are actually in their first contract.
Well, I don't want to hear anything about key or pieces on your defense after having us score 40 points on you. I don't. You can't talk to me about key or pieces. There's no key pieces on your defense. You motherfucking Chris Jones lined up sideways, hurt his neck trying to stop the tush push, or no, I'm sorry, the brotherly shove. Like,
No, you
what are
said
we
it right.
doing here? No, it's the brotherly shove. You call whatever you want. It works. Other teams in the league are upset that they can't do it.
Yeah,
Ask
oh, that's
Josh Allen the
weak.
week before.
Yeah, that's weak. Putting in the request to say, hey, let's get this banned. Yeah, you're
That's
not getting the
insane.
agreements from that. That's weak as
We're
hell.
changing. We're changing football.
Yeah, you really are. I'll give you that. You really are.
You know, but I'm not. Yeah, but I'm not a hater fan though. Like I'm not like same thing with San Francisco, right? What I don't like about 49ers fans is y'all have the most excuses I've ever heard in football. Chiefs fans ain't really excuse people. They just like, we're a dynasty. We ain't gonna win every year, but at least we in the fucking mix. Dallas fans are delusional. They just think that every single year they're going to win. Every year is their year. But 49ers fans are a sexier version of Dallas fans. But you guys make excuses for why you lose every year. And then what we do is we coddle you because we respect Mike Shanahan and we respect that team. But if we're calling a spade, the 49ers Super Bowl last season came when y'all beat Philadelphia in a regular season game. That is very cute. I'm happy for y'all. Y'all got y'all lick back, but you don't get your lick back because we put you out the fucking playoffs the year before. And then they say, well, if we would have had Brock Purdy, let's have revisionist history. Brock Purdy wasn't hurt before the game. Brock Purdy got put out the game. That's a different situation. Meaning your guys didn't block my guys. They got in Brock Purdy's face and made him submit. Now, with that being said, I think that I'm watching you guys implode right now. But you got a lot of cap space. And I do like John Lynch. So I believe you guys won't be asked for a long time. But the point of the matter is 49ers fans, every time I turn around, we beat you. I don't care about what you did in the regular season. We beat you. We stopped you from going to the Super Bowl. Bottom line, we stopped you from going to the Super Bowl. The same thing goes for Commanders fans. All of a sudden now they on my line. I don't understand it. You beat us by 3 in week 12 or 13. Congratulations. All right. Jalen Hurts didn't play, but you put him out the game. But then you're still talking to me after losing 55 to 23. Now you want to tell me, oh man, we got a rookie quarterback. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. You can't talk to me until you put us out the playoffs. Like that to me, putting somebody out the playoffs is extreme bragging rights. So regular season wins, that's cool, right? But if you're a dynasty or if you're a team that like, look, the Bills beat y'all in the regular season, Kansas City,
Every year.
every year. But you could Patrick Mahomes literally ends Josh Allen's season every year. We know
Every
how
year.
this movie's going to go. Every year. Never fails.
Yeah, I mean, I got no argument, but be well. That I love that. So, as a Niners fan, do you have anything to try to rebuttal this? I mean, they did put Purdy out.
I'm not gonna feed into this complaining because I mean he is right. We did lose. There were some circumstances that made it a way that we could not overcome that loss, but we did lose. The other team put us in that circumstance, so we couldn't lose, or so we had to lose. It's fine. I'm over that one already. I'm already over that. There's no issues with there. My issue is just trying to compare us with them bum Dallas fans. That's where it's just like, come on now, nah. Don't put us in the same
Well,
boat with them bums, all right? We
Well, you're
will
not in the same
during.
boat, but you have not. But for the way that 49ers fans be talking, let's start here. You've been in the Super Bowl between in the last 12 years. You've been in the Super Bowl 3 times. You're 0-3. You have not won anything since '94. You just have playoff wins. Dallas don't have playoff wins. So y'all not the same. I agree with that. But the way y'all talk, you would think you've won since you were 5 years old.
And you know what? For sure. All
Mm.
right. I can't.
Oh,
They're the
that's
champs. They're
hey.
the champs right now. They're the champs
I
right
gotta
now. There's
I gotta
nothing I
send you
can
to your
really.
corners.
I can't say nothing. But they are the champs. They
I gotta send y'all to y'all
they
corners right
got
there.
a full year of walking around like that, strutting their stuff. But I mean, hey, like you said, playoffs come around every year. We can see.
So
We can see what
I gotta
happens.
ask. I'm sorry, I gotta cut you off because I've been waiting to ask this one to an actual Eagles fan because I know how I feel and I'm gonna go into it. Saquon gets a brand new deal or an extension on the deal. Now is the highest paid running back ever. Is it deserved? Yes. But what are your feelings on doing this deal at this given point? What is your feelings on the deal itself? Let me hear it.
My feelings is the Eagles have. You know who the best player on the Eagles roster is? It's not Saquon Barkley. You know who it is?
The best player on their roster?
I'd give it
The
to the
best player on
offensive
their roster.
line.
I'm giving it to my man Howard Roseman. Howard Roseman is arguably one of the greatest GMs we've ever seen. Like you got to think about this. He does everything well. He's hit on every defensive draft, every first and second round draft pick since 2022, I believe. He's hit, and I'm talking Quinyon. I'm talking
Carter.
Cooper DeJean. I'm talking Jalen Carter. Like we have legitimately hit on everybody in the draft while making monumental trades, right? Like the trade to get AJ Brown to pair him with somebody like Devontae Smith. To have the person after we have a Hall of Fame center retire, we have his replacement. And you just said you're going to give it to the offensive line. Well, that entire offensive line was drafted, except Becton, who we got, for a discount. Seeing somebody like Zach Bond, you know what I mean? Like finding him after he was hid away in New Orleans.
Yep.
My point I'm making is that I don't question how he's moved. And that's really where I'm at. I don't question his moves. He knows how to get cap space. He knows how to get what he wants. And he also knows how to keep players happy. So you reward Saquon Barkley for what he did this year. Chances are, because Saquon Barkley does have an injury history, I think we're going to get another two good, really good. I don't think it'll be what we got last year,
Yeah.
but we have a running game that we don't have to worry about for the next or foreseeable future, which then puts teams in this predicament because it's like you have to respect Saquon Barkley because he may not get the yards he gets next year because you guys want to make Jalen Hurts throw. How did that work out in the Super Bowl?
Oh, okay. So your
Hold on,
GM,
I
there's no
gotta say
argument.
one.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah,
get in there. I'm gonna let you get in, but hold on. Your GM, there's no argument. And I 100% feel you on the I gotta trust the process. I had to trust the
No, no, no,
process
no,
with
no,
getting
no,
rid
no,
of
no, no,
Tyreek
no, no,
Hill.
no, 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 no. Don't you ever in your life tell anybody from Philly talking about some trust the goddamn process. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Yo, like, yo, dog, I'm legit triggered right now, dog. Like, why the fuck would you tell me to trust the process? Yo, dog, don't ever say that to me, man. Howard Rose
Oh man, I completely forgot about who
on a
they
different level than them other motherfuckers that I'm talking about. He's on a different level. Howard Roseman, he does what he wants. He's made he's built two Super Bowl rosters, two
Yes.
separate Super Bowl rosters. Howard Roseman has made. He has my full trust. So that's how I feel about it. I don't think that he made a mistake or he did something wrong or I'm upset about it because also I think what he did was he also cleared up an extra $6.8 million in cap space this year with making a move like that. He's trying to win now.
Oh yeah, of course. The moves, yes, you're gonna trust what he's doing, and you're gonna move forward amicably. He's earned that 100%.
Yep.
My biggest thing is just yes, you free up space now, but in a year, in 2 years, when that cap hits a little bit harder, having all those young guys, like you said, not missing, you gotta pay him at some point.
Yeah,
So
you do.
Nolan's gonna get his contract.
I totally agree. So that's why I say, like, you got to remember the formula for a second. When it came to winning a Super Bowl was get a quarterback on a rookie deal and do damage. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all
Facts.
were winning. Talking about, I don't know if Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl before his rookie deal was up. I do believe he won MVP though.
He
So
won both.
nonetheless. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, right? But y'all got that. I mean, look, y'all had got something out of your franchise that you haven't gotten since the '60s at that point. So my thing is that the Philadelphia Eagles, for real, we're being for all intents purposes, for our fans to be as arrogant as we are, we forget that there was a dark period where we were the laughing stock of football in the '80s and in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like I did live through the '90s football. I lived through Doug Peterson being our quarterback. I lived through Ray Rhodes, and I lived through some dark times as an Eagles fan. So my thing is that we're in a position where look, we can run it back, do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, make Saquon happy. Being the highest paid running back in the league, you're gonna feel good next year. You're gonna put in twice the work because we see what kind of person Saquon is. You know what I'm saying? He did right by us, we did right by him.
No, I got you. My biggest thing
So
was just signing him last year.
yeah, I understand. No, you're right. No, you're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that.
But Big Will, you had a point you wanted to get in there. I just had to let that one go.
No, I just had to just admit, yeah. For some reason, all the GMs be tripping, and then Howie be at the draft like, "Are y'all serious? Y'all ain't gonna take him? I guess I'll do it. You want me to do it again? Oh, you're gonna let this Georgia defensive lineman fall to me? Like, I guess I'll draft him. I have nothing else to do right now. Oh, Cooper DeJean. Oh, his film speaks that he's going to be a great corner, but for some godly reason, he's not getting picked up. Sure, why not? Let me do it. Boom, a pick six in the Super Bowl. Who would have ever thought? Everybody. I don't. I just how he be making the. You're right. He's a great GM. I feel like some of the choices he just makes are just like the obvious one. He doesn't overthink it. He's like, yeah, let's just take him. we'll make it work, and it works. It's worked. It
Sometimes the
worked.
best thing is the most obvious. I mean, like I said, it's not missing, but how many of those
Yeah,
picks came from the University of Georgia defense? Back to back natties, and I believe 5 players off of those defenses now are with the
yeah,
Eagles.
I
yeah,
mean, and that's the thing, right? Like, and Howie Roseman. I mean, look, you could say it fell to us and stuff like that, right? But also, people are addressing needs in the draft, right? You feel like you don't need a corner, right? We knew what we were like. Like with our implosion back in 20 during the 2023 season. So last season, not the Super Bowl season, but the one where we went 10-1 and then ended up finishing the season 11-6 and getting put out of the playoffs by the Bucks, right? What we didn't have was good linebacker play, and we also didn't have good throwing play, right? Like you couldn't really run the ball on us, but you could throw the ball 40, 50 times, and the other quarterback is going to look crazy. You know what I'm saying? And you address that immediately in the draft. But not even did you address it, but you got two guys that started immediately. You know what I'm saying? And then also you have a defensive coach who or defensive coordinator who knows what he's doing, who's been around the league and finally probably got the guys that he want. Like that's another thing, right? Like guys like Howie Roseman do their homework. He's not a guy like that's why he don't make moves off impulse. So him giving like Jerry Jones last year giving Dak, I mean, CD Lamb, not Dak, CD Lamb the contract, even though a lot of people don't agree with Dak, but giving him the CD Lamb contract was he was forced into a corner. Saquon wasn't making a big deal about his contract, and he wasn't going to, he not the type of guy to go to the media and go public with that kind of stuff, right? He was going to play out his contract. But what Howard Roseman decided was, okay, how does this benefit us short term, and I believe maybe in the next 2 to 3 years. So my thing is that he's not an impulsive, he didn't have to do it. So he did it for. So my thing is, if you don't have to do something, he did it for a reason.
Oh yeah, and I think the best GMs, and it doesn't happen until you see the success, but they have
Right,
that vision and they're painting it together. The Chiefs'
right.
offense, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, Pat's this, Pat's that," not realizing we tried to find Tyreek Hill for about 11 years. We went to
Yep.
Dexter McCluster, DeAnthony
Yeah, yeah,
Thomas.
yeah,
We were
yeah,
plugging
yep.
in little speedy guys trying to find a dude built like a little truck, but could still get out and get loose. Looking for
Yeah,
Kels.
exactly.
That
Mhm.
wasn't an easy thing trying to look for Kels. After Tony G, we let him go and he goes to Atlanta. We went through Beckett. We went through a whole bunch of different guys trying to get an athletic tight end to fit it. So Roseman he's shown. He's like, hey, you know what? I know what I want this to actually look like. Our
He's done
issue
it
we had,
twice.
yeah, because
He's done it
your
twice,
secondary was vicious. Even the last Super
and
Bowl.
and you got to remember too, right? Going back to that 2018 season, I mean 2017 season where the Eagles won the Super Bowl, right? Like that was built that roster was built around defense and a great offensive line. Well, look, I mean, we were back in the Super Bowl 5 years later, 5 years later, and how? Well, I mean, there was literally, moving off Carson Wentz and saying, "Yo, he's not the guy." Putting in Jalen Hurts, giving him that first year where people forget, like they keep saying he's not good, but his first season where he was starting, I think they were the Eagles were not 10-7 or 9-8 and made the playoffs. And we lost to Tom Brady. Like last I checked, ain't no shame in losing to Tom Brady.
Not
You know
even a
what I'm
little bit.
saying? Then the season after that, he takes us to the Super Bowl. Like, what are we doing here, right? Like, but these are Howie Roseman moves, like that he's putting in place. What's scary is guys like Jalen Carter and stuff like that. They're getting better, right? Like Jalen Carter is damn near unblockable at this point. You got to double team him. You have to. You have to. There's no.
No, watching Jalen Carter was literally like watching a young Chris Jones, and
I mean,
I
possibly
only
going to
way
end
was
to
up
like,
better.
the
yeah.
only way to stop him is to shut down his Uber account. That's the only way to stop him. Only way.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But
But
yeah, man. But overall I like the Saquon deal only because we didn't make that move out of desperation. It wasn't a we had to make that move. I'm pretty sure he was fine with playing out his contract as well as making all of those incentives that he made last year as well.
okay, and I mean we're gonna keep it Eagle centric if y'all haven't already seen it. But I want to talk threats to the Eagles because being a fan, being somebody that knows the game, generally speaking, you know the teams that you deal with on a regular basis, and you know the teams that are generally going to be trying to beat you. If I talk about the Rams' weak points, you're going to be able to point some of that out. Y'all understand what it takes to handle that. You understand what they were missing, what you were better at. Both of y'all are NFC guys. So, who in the NFC would you guys consider to be the biggest threat to actually be able to knock off the Eagles in this next run?
You want me to start or you want to go, B Will?
I'll go first. In the NFC, shoot, we got to see how the Lions, of course, that's going to be up there number one. I would also put in, depending on how the offseason goes for one of the big three NFC West teams, because somehow one of them always is real good. And then that's about it. The NFC is pretty open, to be honest. At this point, the NFC, there's a lot of teams, but there's not a lot of teams at that level that could be like challenging for the top. There's a lot of playoff teams, a lot of good playoff teams, but there's not a lot of championship contender playoff teams that we could send to the Super Bowl, and expect that team to win, especially if they got to play the Chiefs, Bills, or Ravens.
Okay, so just before we pop it over to Clint, just want to make sure I understand this. So you basically saying the NFC is about 2 to 3 teams, and then it's everybody else. And of those threats, would you call Philly still that favorite, or would you say there's a team right now that is right now, not what could be, right now has positioned themselves in a way that they could be ranked over the Eagles?
I'd want to see a healthy Lions and Eagles match. I feel like that'd be a rock fight, a nice battle. Both got great defenses, both got explosive offenses. Um, I mean, we would have to see how the new offensive coordinator. See, running it last year would have probably been better because that offensive coordinator is unconscious. He holds unnecessary grudges, and he was willing to do whatever it took and call any play. But those would be the two teams that I would want. I would put those two teams at the. If we had to
Okay,
say two teams are going to be at the NFC Championship, it'd be those two teams, and then, um, like I said, one of the either the Niners, Rams, or Seahawks. And then after that, I see the Bucks and
that's good.
the
After that, we just say it's the
Commanders
field.
and
We
the
can rock with
Dallas.
that.
Yeah, yeah, I just see them all in the same.
So Clint, floor is yours. I'm gonna let you have it.
All right. I believe number one, I don't think the Lions are going to be a threat next year. They're losing both of their coordinators. That is a big deal. People think that them people getting healthy is the answer always. Getting healthy is cool, but how long motherfuckers been waiting for Kawhi Leonard to be healthy? After you have a serious injury, what ends up happening is that you play the game different. You're not the same person. I like Aiden Hutchinson, but he's coming off of an ACL injury. Not saying that he can't rehab and he won't be back or anything like that, but an ACL injury is very serious, and you're scared to plant your foot, do things like that. So I actually don't even think they're going to win their division next year. I think that window has closed. I think the biggest threats to the Philadelphia Eagles are the Los Angeles Rams because of their coach. I think that Sean McVay always has a scheme or a game plan that he does, and he's a very, very, very genius offensive mind. Matt Stafford is one of the few at what he does now is the only damn near the only pocket passer, but he's precision is like his passes are equal to a Lamar Jackson run, if you ask me. Like Lamar Jackson's speed is 99, but to me, Matt Stafford's accuracy is 99. You know what I'm saying? So like, that makes up for him the fact that he can't run. You dig?
Yeah.
So I have the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going to put some respect on the Washington Commanders. They have shown that they're a formidable team. Look, like they beat the Lions, right? Like it shouldn't have like the Lions were injuries or not, the Lions were still 16-1. You know what I'm saying? The Lions still had the best record in the NFL, or 15 and 2. Nonetheless, they were the best team in the NFL all year. Everybody kept saying they're the Super Bowl champs. They're going to do this. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Blah 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 blah. And they didn't. They fell short because Jaden Daniels went out there and kicked their ass. So I got to put some respect on them. I'm gonna be real. The Dallas Cowboys are in the mix, right? They're always in the mix. They have talent. It's not that they don't have good leadership. They don't have a winner's mentality. But Dallas, they are a threat. And then I got a sleeper team, and it's going to be the Chicago Bears. They're going to take the leap. Watch, watch. Watch. Ben Johnson is going to change. Is going to change. Is going to change. People don't even realize this, and I'm not this guy again. But I was watching a lot of the Bears games. At least, listen, they lost on a missed field goal at the end of regulation or block field goal, whatever. They lost that stupid. They deserved to lose that game to Washington,
The
where
Hail
the dude
Mary.
was standing in the joint, like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah,
That's
Hmm.
too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then I think they lost another one getting their field goal blocked. So we're talking, or them. I forget what it is, but long story short, whatever their record was, that could have the pendulum could have easily swung three games in their favor, which then comes to a situation where now after you have 3 games in your favor, or you have three wins in your favor, we don't know how your momentum is. We don't know if you now go out and expect to win. Because winning only begets more winning. Bottom line, winning only begets more winning. Like when you win, you like to win, you expect to win, you feel good winning. You know what I'm saying? Losing sucks. But sometimes when you losing, you just like, man, fuck it. You lose 4 in a row, fuck it.
Okay.
So Those are the teams that I believe, and then the team that I think that could knock us off is the is the are the Washington Commanders. For the
Okay.
simple fact is they know us and they actually they're I don't know their mentality, but after losing 55 to 23, I'm trying to whoop your ass every time we play. I don't want you to have a damn thing on me ever again. So yeah, we may beat you in the regular season, but we want to win the Super Bowl. And that would shut me the fuck up.